Good evening, everyone. My name is Louise Lefebvre, and my given name is l'Esprit du Poumon. I'm a First Nation person, and I would like to share some of my photography tonight, some of the knowledge I've come to understand in the 5th decade of my life. After being very sick for a number of years, I decided to explore a simpler way of living in balance. I wanted to step away from the rat race, the need to make the big bucks, the crushing debt, and the stress-induced pace in which I had lived the majority of my life up until then. My body already knew what my mind had to come and learn, and so changes were imminent. I have to slow down. I hit the proverbial wall, and I ended a 37-year career in education and 25 years of farming. My life had lost focus. I felt extreme fatigue, depression, and experienced chronic pain. I imagined myself to be disconnected from others, unloved and all alone. So confused and unable to heal, I turned to the medicine of the medicine wheel, and I examined my life within the context of the 4 quadrants: the mental, the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual. And slowly my journey to health began. My first priority was to address the imbalance within my physical realm. My weight had escalated, and my diet was plagued with sugar, processed foods, and a lot of junk. So I eliminated those and started to focus on pure, rich, nutrient food, locally grown and harvested, and some wild meats. Hand in hand with what I was eating, I also needed to really be hydrated. So there was no more pop and coffee and sugar juices. I just took plain, pure mountain water and lots of it. And I discovered that my body was really unable to tell the difference between hunger and thirst. The third component of the physical realm was rest. And when I gave myself permission to just stop, just close my eyes, I was really shocked to realize how tired I really was. So afternoon naps became a much anticipated ritual and a big part of my days. The next area I needed to examine was the emotional portion of the medicine wheel, the parts of our life that speak to our hearts. And the teachings told me to connect with family and elders and to look at all my relations for support, guidance, and love. But I needed more than just human connections. I also had to enjoy being connected to 4-legged mammals. And so I spent a lot of time playing and being with them. I surrounded myself with my dogs, alpacas, llamas, and I began doing some animal rescue in the north part of British Columbia. This in turn led me to an opening in my heart, and I suddenly had a need to help others less fortunate. And so I became involved in humanitarian work in India and with the Tibetan refugees. I discovered, oddly enough, that by helping others, I was actually helping myself. The third quadrant, the mental realm, examines the thoughts that go through our head, the stories we tell ourselves on a daily basis. And in my sickness, I couldn't remember the last time that I had actually laughed till my sides hurt. So I began to play, to fully immerse myself in folly. I challenged myself to learn new things, to let go of fear, let go of anxiety, to silence that critic in my head. And instead I began to listen to my heart, and it brought me to things that I had always wanted to do. All of these changes, this effort to push myself beyond the security of the world I had always lived in, allowed me for the very first time to see my life from a new perspective. I began to see a buffet of moments and intriguing mysteries there for me to savor. But a balanced life also requires a good, strong sense of spirituality and a connection to the divine. In my dis-ease, this 4th quadrant had taken back seat to job, responsibilities, and obligations. But I went on a vision quest and began a new conversation with my Creator. I spent time alone, meditated, listened, watched, and when my voice was silenced, everything came into focus. My heart was filled with wonderment and abundant gratitude. I connected to my spirit guides, and I returned to the teachings of my culture and my people, and I fully immersed myself in the healing powers of Gaia. I felt as if I had returned home from a lifetime journey of being away. For me, examining my life through the wisdom of the medicine wheel made sense. It allowed me to evaluate the life path that I was traveling on and to align myself more closely to my beliefs and to my desires. And in fact, I found the medicine wheel to be my light. As I felt my life become more authentic, more grounded, I relaxed. I stopped running. I took the time to heal and feel the ground beneath my feet. I released situations, habits, and people that no longer worked for me. My goal tonight in sharing my journey is to release seeds of hope to those still stuck, still running that hamster wheel, still in dis-ease. I want to say that it's all right to question, to stop, to change, to reevaluate, to dream, and to remember. A life lived in balance is a life examined and understood. I am grateful for the knowledge of the medicine wheel and how it guided me. Today, I am abundantly loving to myself, and I listen to my voice. I am in wonder at all that I am.